Now that I've had time to gather my thoughts about 28 years later, I have some things to say because it's definitely some things in here that threw me off about the movie and that I didn't really like. But I did overall still give the movie 8 out of 10. After thinking about it, I could say it's a good 7 to 8 out of 10. But I made the review last night, coming straight home tired. So overnight and this morning I've had time to think about it. So I want to share my thoughts. And then I'm sorry about the setup. I'm still not home. I'm on vacation in Arizona. So I apologize. It's not my usual setup, but next week things will be back to normal. And I'm saving the biggest issue for last with this movie. So make sure you stay and watch the full video so you can see the biggest problem, which I think everybody's biggest issue is with this movie. Okay, so my first issue with this movie is the clips that they were using to parallel to the present time. The clips from like World War One and medieval times. They're shooting arrows and little boys being used as soldiers and stuff. So it was really cool. The style and the editing, it was just like the trailer, and that's what I came for. And I was like, okay, this is really good. This is really cool. I liked where they were going with it, but then it just kind of draws a blank. It shoots a blank. And it goes nowhere with it. And then they just completely stop those clips later on in the movie. And it makes you wonder, what were they doing with that? What was it for? Was it just for some cool editing? I can, like I said in my original review, I appreciate them trying new things, like with camera editing, the camera angles, the style of this movie, the music they were using. It was all very interesting to see, and I can respect the directors trying new things. I just didn't like how that came to an abrupt stop, and by the end of the movie, it was non-existent. So that first issue with the clips from the past kind of coincides with the second issue I had, which is they just completely stopped the fast-paced editing from the beginning of the movie as well in the second half. Everything slowed down, which is fine, but I thought the movie was going to keep up and keep going with this new, weird, quirky cinematography style that they were going with. But no, after Spike leaves his father, they kind of just completely do away with all of that. Which brings me to my next issue, which was getting rid of the father, Jamie. I think that dynamic between the father and Spike, it was so good. It was so good to follow them, see him learning from his mistakes, seeing how good of a father he was, even though he started to do some morally ambiguous things that Spike didn't like, which led Spike to make some foolish decisions with his mother. But once they get out there, here's the next problem I had. It took a lot of suspension of disbelief, first of all, because Spike being out there, he would not survive realistically. And they show that, but the thing I have a problem with is, he's a little kid, he falls asleep with his mother. He's supposed to be watching, being on the lookout for his mother. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, his mother just gets this super strength and just starts banging this zombie's head against a brick wall. And I'm like, what in the world? How did she get all of this strength? She just turned into Supergirl and was able to just pick up the zombie and bash his head into the wall. It was weird. And Spike didn't wake up at all. I mean, if somebody is banging a zombie's head on a brick right next to me, I think I'd wake up. So that was a little bit odd to me. So my next issue is the zombie baby. I didn't actually have an issue with the baby itself or the concept. I thought all of that was pretty cool and interesting. The problem I had was Spike bringing the zombie baby home. Well, it's not a zombie baby. He brought the baby home without anybody noticing. They're supposed to be on the lookout the whole time. The only excuse I can give this maybe is that he did it at the last minute, like at the same time him and his dad came back the first time. It was really dark and hard to see, but still, I don't know. Him being able to make it back without anybody seeing, and they're supposed to be looking out, and all of a sudden they just hear the baby crying the next morning. So that means Spike was able to come there and walk away without anybody being able to see it. So what is the point of this lookout? It makes no sense. And I'm missing one of the issues I had, but it's whatever. It clearly is not that big of a deal if I can't think of it right now. But the most major issue with this movie was, I think everybody would agree, is the ending. The ending is so insane. The entire style switch up. I was trying to feel it, trying to just keep with it, you know, see what they were going for. It seemed like almost like it became a video game or a cartoon. We just get these characters that are, I know who the main character is. They're like a cult now. It was that little kid from the beginning of the movie. But it was still just weird to see them come into this movie. They switch up the music, they switch up the style, they go back to the editing from the beginning of the movie, and they just make this weird scene where they're beating up all the zombies with these weird tools and weird noises they're making. And I guess setting up the next movie, they'll be good at, they'll teach Spike how to kill zombies like them. It looks like they kill them for sport the way they fight. And I hope they don't keep that same editing style. I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe they can find a way to pull this off in the next movie. I'm still excited to see the next one. And like I said, the movie overall was good. These were just all the issues that I found. I'm missing one. It's going to bother me. I'll put it in the comment section if I remember. But let me know what you guys think. And if you have some excuses to let some of these sins go with this movie. All right. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.